everyone. How are y'all doing? I'm so excited to be back, guys. Let's share. Y'all share this out to all the mommies because we gonna need them tonight. We are gonna talk about this mommypreneur life, honey. Hi, Janelle. So, guys, we are bringing on Shantal. She will be live with us tonight, and we'll be discussing the mompreneur lifestyle. Oh, you like my jazz, honey? Hey, cousin. You like my jazz, honey? Yeah, so we are bringing on Shantal. Let's give her a few seconds. Guys, we're going to be talking about all the greatness. Chantal's on. Okay, let's get her on. Let me see. I always forget how to do this, guys. Okay, here we go. My cousin trying to join. Hey, bro. Let's see. Is this going? Hi, Shantal.
Hey.
How are you? You look
Good,
amazing.
and so do you.
Oh,
Just
thank
get
you
me good.
so.
Okay. I think you guys can see.
Yes, you look great. I was like, I can't wait to see her setup. I know it's gonna be so nice and fancy and neat and just so
Oh,
pretty.
don't do that. Don't do that. No, just sit in the office.
Listen, I admire everything you do. Okay,
We can't
everything you do.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
No worries. So, guys, I have known Shantal since I was a kid. We have known each other since we were like, shoot, I was probably like 10 maybe.
Yeah, middle school. Was it? Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was middle school.
Yes, we were next door neighbors growing up. And man, it's a blessing to be here today. And you know, in our adult years, we're moms now. We're entrepreneur moms.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing when you reflect
Yes,
that. Wow, who would have thought?
yes. I
Right?
know. So I
God.
want to let's tell people basically what you do, Shantal. Let them know that, you know, you are a huge advocate of mompreneurs, and, you know, I know you do different like content for different business, like you help different
Right.
business grow. Okay, yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
Where do I start? I mean, I so
Just
much.
real quick, because I'm gonna start. I want to get
Okay.
into, you know, your past first, but just let them know real quick what exactly that you do for these mothers out here.
Okay. So I'm a mompreneur myself. I've been that for about 3 years now for my son. But basically, what I do is I help moms transition into mompreneurs. So people are like, well, okay, that sounds very basic. It can sound very basic, but it's basically, it can get complicated. So a
Yeah.
mompreneur is basically a woman that juggles motherhood while operating her own business. Okay, this is not working for somebody, we work for ourselves. And if you have kids, then you would know the challenges you face with taking care of a kid, and then you have to take care of other people. Okay, so
Right.
basically what I do, I help you start, launch, operate, brand your business all together, so it can be a smooth transition from mom to mompreneur. So we take care of the legal part, we take care of the branding, the photo shoot, the websites, the logos,
Nice. Oh
procedures.
my God. Okay.
Okay,
Hold
we
on.
won't
Hold
go.
on. Hold on. Hold
I
on.
know y'all can go on, but that's
Yes.
just a
Yes.
little insight.
Yes. That is, man. That is so dope because not a lot of people are willing to take the time out to teach moms that. That is so important. And that should literally be like a teacher job. Like we should
Right.
have more mompreneurs. So I want to trickle back to, you know, when we were younger, you were always, you know, you had a lot of brothers and sisters. Well, you had mostly sisters.
Right.
So you grew up in a house, you know, environment and watch, your parents kind of balance,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
like, how was your childhood growing up?
My childhood growing up, my mom was a single mother. My father
Mm-hmm.
passed away when I was 8 months. She did have a
Mm-hmm.
partner after, but I really don't remember that. But people say, well, you probably had it hard. I had a beautiful childhood. Besides me doing my little kitty things, I mean, I watched my mother be the strongest woman she could possibly be. I mean, tell me, I haven't seen a day that she cried. uh, I seen her come home, take care of her kids, go to work, and not complain not one time. So I had
Yes.
people that tended to me, who nurtured me, who cared for me. And if she had to discipline me, she disciplined me. And it surely did kick in now, because I understand now having my own kids. So my
Right.
childhood growing up was very beautiful up until I lost my mother. So I don't know if you
Right.
want me to go that far, but that's
Yeah.
where.
So, well, actually, I do kind of want to tap into it because it plays a major role into who you are today as well. Because
Right.
and now I do remember that happening, because that was a really sad moment, um, for the whole for the whole neighborhood, because we always knew your mom.
The whole
So
block.
yeah,
The
the
whole
whole
block.
block. It was just like, oh my goodness. But we seen you guys kind of just take lead and push through
Yeah.
regardless. And
Yeah.
that was super admiring. So a part of your drive today now was that stem from that? Like, what did you learn, like, in that experience?
I mean, the experience of losing my mom, it's sometimes it's bittersweet. It hurts to this day. It's almost 12 years later, and
Yeah.
it feels like yesterday.
Right.
But that alone has molded me into the woman I am today, because the moment I lost my mother, um, I had to learn. I had to learn how to wash my clothes. I mean, the day she tried to put us in the kitchen and was like, "We're going outside," I had to really like go back and remember, how do you clean chicken? How do you separate light from dark? How do you clean your house? How do you take care of yourself as a woman? And though it was a very painful journey, when they say a rose, it grows out the concrete, that's exactly what I was. Because
Yeah.
I had a fight to come out to be where I am today. And
Yeah.
her losing her is still tough to this day. But I know before she left, my mom did what she had to do to um, make her girls grow to be the women that we are today, including my brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yo, your mom was something else, boy. She used to come
Something
out
that
there in that dress. She used to be like, "It's a good house."
we used
Oh
to hit it
God.
real
I
quick.
remember all those memories, man. I remember all those
Right.
memories.
Definitely somebody
But
you can't forget. Right.
yes, yes, she was an amazing woman, man. She was so
Right.
nice.
Oh my God.
So that was like the she was like the queen of just Caribbean parents. Like we had like a whole Caribbean parent,
On the block.
just girl, the whole block was just like, oh my
Right.
God, just all of
All
us was
the
just getting
time.
disciplined, like, get in the house.
Back and forth. And everybody
Yeah.
was killing her.
Yes, yes. So I want to tap more into now, like, you having kids and understanding, learning through your own experience. How was it, like, what would you say? Oh, and let's cheers too. Look, I wanted to get all the way into this conversation. Listen, okay, guys, we forgot the cheers. Cheers, honey,
Cheers. Cheers.
to an amazing conversation that already started. Okay,
I'm
I've been ready to dig deep. Thanks,
waiting.
Moya. Moya said the energy here is so beautiful. Thank you,
Oh,
love.
you. I'm sorry. This is my first live, so these comments, I
Oh,
know
you
them.
you know, okay. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm gonna
So
get in the
so
flow of it.
yeah, you gonna see him just stroll, child.
Okay.
So yeah. So basically, once you had your son now, and that drastic change, right? Now, were you working 9 to 5 before you had your son,
Actually,
or?
no. I was actually operating my in-house daycare,
Mhm.
and at the time that I got pregnant, I was at like 25 kids. So I wasn't even aware I was pregnant because I was taking care of everybody else.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
I have
Yep,
my
I was
wife's
taking
but
care of.
cheers,
So I
yes,
was,
cheers.
yeah, I was working full time, six
Yeah.
a.m. until 7 p.m. at night, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
XO Casey said, hey. She said, hey, Chantel.
Hey.
Um, so when you worked the whole pregnancy after you found out. Now, did you go after you had your son? Now, were you still working there?
So no, so right after when I found out I was pregnant, I kept working. Dad was big on stop working. I think he told me at 4 months to stop working, but I have such a work ethic. I was like, no, why? Let me just get some money, and he was like, don't do it. You're doing too much. You're moving. You're this. You're that. You need a rest. And it was my
Yeah.
first pregnancy. I really didn't know what to expect. I was 28 years old, so I was like, you'll think you would know, but I didn't know. I really didn't know.
Right.
I was picking up garage doors. I was doing everything in the world I
Oh,
shouldn't have been doing while I was pregnant. Yes, I was.
yeah.
And he came. So he came at 30
Mm.
2 pounds, 15 ounces, was in a NICU, struggled breathing. He stopped
Oh.
breathing 2 times. So we almost lost him twice. And
Oh my
he had
God.
to fight for his life. He had to fight for his
Yeah.
life for 62 days. So after he got out the hospital, going to work was not even a thought. Like, who, what is that?
Oh
I,
my
I,
God.
I just know my family and his dad definitely held it down because I was not worried about a dollar after I had him. I just
Yeah.
showed up every day at the NICU for 62 days by his
Wow.
side. The only time I left was to go take a shower, was to
Yes.
go meet dad, to bring him upstairs or something like that. And I was there every day just by his bedside. So work,
Yeah.
when he came home, work was not even a thought
Right.
at all.
Man, there was so much you just said into that just
Much.
it's it sparked so much for me because
Wow.
you literally went through that rush of the start of parenthood that a lot of parents face, right? And we don't talk about it much because it's such a trying time because I went through something
Right.
like that with my daughter as
Right.
well, with her being in the NICU. And even hers was just like 6 days. But I do remember the mindset that I had and the thought process and everything. My world changed like immediately. It was like super switch,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And a lot of women don't have the support
No.
of, the child's father to be there or even family.
No.
So imagine, there's women out there that really had to go through that by themselves. And, fortunately for you and I, we had that support. But I want to talk about like how it life basically made a turn, right?
Right.
So your normal day to day, even though when you're pregnant, you still by yourself,
Yeah, you're still by
but
yourself.
right. So now that you have the baby, so your normal day to day went total 360.
360.
Um, Now, when he got home and things started to calm down, how was your mindset through that process when everything kind of died down a little bit? Was it more so, okay, this is when it really gets real? You get what I'm saying? Like, how was your mindset process after you got home with him and everything just you started to really realize this is happening now?
After he got home, it was I was real. I stayed in the moment for so long. I basked in the moment because it
Mm-hmm.
could have gone any kind of way.
Right.
So the moment he came home, I just basked in the moment. But as things did calm down, I realized that my life took a switch. It wasn't just about me now. It was
Right.
about providing for my son and giving him the best life possible. And I've always been a business minded woman, but this time it kicked in like you don't have no room to play. You don't
Yeah.
have no room to play. The roof over his head is your responsibility. The clothes on his back is your responsibility. I can't
Yes.
look for my sisters. I can't look for my cousins. I couldn't look for that. Even though I had the support, I drilled it in my head that if I didn't have the support, what would I do?
Right.
And
What
I
would
didn't
you
want to
do?
handicap myself with family and siblings and so forth and so forth. So, I mean, by the time my son came home January, I was living with my sister. By the time December hit, I was I was out looking for apartments. I was like, he
Mm.
got to move. I can't keep him restricted in this one room because when we have these kids, especially when we ask for them,
Yeah.
we're not supposed to treat them any kind of way. These are gifts. These are
Yes.
special gifts. So I told
Yes.
myself, I asked for him, God gave him to me. So for me
Mm.
to turn around and just give him the bare minimum,
Mm.
absolutely not. He deserves the earth and more. So
Right.
after I
Yes.
had him, my mindset was to, I've done lived my life. I am now building a life for my son, for him to continue for his children. And that's where
Wow.
my life just took a switch. It was no longer about Shantal. It
Right.
was my son, and then I fall into place right after. And that's where that mompreneur mindset kicked in real fast. That I had to
Wow.
be a provider. Even though he had a dad, we had to be a provider, not just
Right.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, it is. It's one of those moments in your life where, because my thing is when I was pregnant with my daughter, the vision that I had was totally different
Oh, yeah, it's different.
than the vision when she came into this world.
It's different. It's different for
it's it's totally different. So,
yeah.
and now that brings me into how the vision changes, right? Because chemically, as women, our body changes as well after
Right.
we give the birth,
Right.
right? So then some of us fall into like postpartum.
That's tough.
I, the PP word
Right now we try to avoid.
that
It
we try
happens.
to avoid.
Right.
So I remember personally, I went to a mommy and me class
Right.
before I had my daughter and learned about it. So I kind of, because you hear people talk about it, but if you don't hear the details and the in-depth version, you don't
Right.
prepare right,
Right.
you know. And I was able to prepare that way, and I had times when I felt it coming on, and I had to stop myself and say, "Oh my God, this is happening right now." And it's so deep that it can literally take you out if you're
Right.
not careful,
Yep.
right? So did you go through that phase?
With my son, I didn't
Hmm.
have time. I didn't have time for postpartum. It it came up upon me, and when it
Yeah.
did, the doctor pulled me aside because he came to me. I forgot what he came to me exactly about, but oh no, it was when he stopped breathing, and I was
Mm.
beyond panicking. And he told me, he said, "You have a very strong child, but I'm going to tell you now, when you come into to his room, you cry outside. Don't don't come in the room because your child picks up your energy." And he said, "If
Oh,
you want your child to come home, your
oh,
spirit has to be up there because you're
yes.
what's going to cause the child to thrive." The moment he told me that, I never walked into that hospital depressed, sad, burdened.
Mm.
If I ever did, before I walked into my son's room, I was definitely outside in the waiting room praying. And I remember
Yes.
a time I did not have strength. And this is why it's so important to have a prayer partner. I
Yes.
didn't have strength. I called my sister. I said, "I cannot pray anymore. I'm tired. I'm
Mm.
exhausted. I haven't slept. I haven't ate. I just want my child to come home." I said, "I can't pray because I don't have no words." I said, "You
Mm.
have to pray for me before I go in." And she prayed for me, and the prayer she gave me strength, and I went to see my son. So
Mm.
postpartum for my son wasn't optional. If I wanted him to live, it wasn't optional. And that is so strong when I say it, because you
Yeah,
think these things come over you and you don't have a power to defeat them, but you do.
you
And you don't
do.
let it become an option. Now with my daughter, that's a different story. But with my son, it was not. It was not optional.
Oh my God.
Mm-mm.
So, damn, that is so deep, Chantel. Oh my God.
Man,
Listen, man,
so
you
much.
have to tap into faith. You have to
Right.
tap into the literal living energy in you
Right.
to and unknowingly tapping into it. That's
Right?
the thing. Unknowingly tapping into it, because
Right.
now it's live or die.
Yeah.
Everything else in the middle is not even important no more.
No.
Right? And it just goes to show that it's all in our, it can sometimes be all in our mind, depending on how strong our faith can be.
Right?
And that is, oh my God, that is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that you said that, because a lot of the time the postpartum happens when we're home and we don't, no one's there. We have no one to talk to. And you actually, it was unfortunate, but you had to have something to keep you busy, because you couldn't even, no way you could have been weak in those moments. And I definitely remember that, because these babies, it's crazy, because you could cry out here and then go in the room, and even at like age 2, they're like, they already know you was crying.
Something, right.
They know something was wrong. It just it just
They
goes to show
know.
how strong. Yes, and even at that young tender age, they feel that energy, because that's literally what they've been living off of.
Right. Inside of you. So they know.
And
Mom.
it literally detaches and stays with them.
Yeah.
And a lot of moms, a lot of first time moms don't know that, or even, they don't understand the concept of it. And sadly, some babies have to suffer because they don't have that control.
Right.
So that, I applaud you for that, because that's strength.
Gotta
That
fight
is
for your
strength
kids in every aspect. You don't know how
in
you gonna
every
fight,
aspect.
but you're gonna fight for your kids. We fight daily for our kids. Daily.
Listen,
That's what people don't
listen.
understand. We fight daily for our kids.
What, before ourselves, man?
Before ourselves. Before ourselves.
Listen. So let's tap into now, real quick, baby number 2.
Baby number 2.
Right?
Right.
And so, how old is your daughter?
She's 7 months now.
7 months. Okay. So, what was life like now? Where were you? That was baby number 2 a surprise as well.
Baby 2.
Where were you in your career at that time?
She was a big surprise. It was a big surprise. Matter of fact, I went to the doctor and they were like, "You passed your menstruation?" I said, "Yeah, it happens. It's nothing." Like, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah." Test came out negative. I was like, "Yeah, it's fine." 2 weeks later, that thing came out positive. So she was I was moving furniture with her. I didn't even know I was pregnant.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. She was a big surprise. A big surprise.
Wow. So where were you now in your entrepreneur lifestyle? Because I know your mompreneur lifestyle started when your son was born.
Right. So now I'm full time. With my son,
Okay.
I was doing after school director work. And once COVID hit, schools stopped working, stopped operating. So I still had to work because we still had to pay rent through that whole COVID thing. So after I had her, it was just more of a, maternity leave. And then for me to go back, I wasn't ready for them to necessarily be in preschool and daycares. It was just too early for me. And I was like, yeah, I got to build something for my kids because um, on every job I've ever been on, there has been an issue, and not necessarily with me or my work ethic. It was just a lot of intimidation, a lot of your work ethic. I had a boss pull me inside and say, "Hey, your calls are 96%. You just started. How are you doing this? We're reviewing your calls because we need to find out if you're hanging up on customers." And I was beyond offended. I was beyond offended. And I was like, this just lets me know I have too much potential. I have too much
Wow.
potential to be on a
So your
job.
96% is a good thing.
That's a good thing. That means you're taking these calls, you're answering them, and you're going like this. If you ever worked in a call center, I was always 92% above, and there were people that were there for 10 years, and they're 80, 70, and they
Wow. So they came to you in saying that there's something wrong because you're
yeah
doing a good job.
they thought I was hanging up the calls and to make my calls, and once they reviewed that I wasn't. She was like, "Okay, well, we're just going to continue monitoring you." And I took great offense. And that was the day I walked off that job. I took grade 11.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, this isn't for me. If every job I go on, it seems to be a question about my work ethic or what I'm doing or what are my intentions are. Am I planning to be promoted? I just felt that, I had a spirit of leadership that
Right.
I needed to pursue. And I mean,
Right.
never felt comfortable on the job. So after I had my daughter, I was like, I'm more than capable to do it. It may be a challenge, but I'm definitely more capable because you look at everybody else, and I always say this: if they can do it, why can't you? What's the difference?
Yes.
Like, what makes you feel that you can't start a business? What makes you feel that you can't go and get your associate's degree, your bachelor's, your master's, your
Right.
PhD? What makes you feel that? Because if your excuse is that you don't have parents, I don't have parents. If your excuse is
Right.
you're from another country, there are so many foreign people that came to US and
Right.
made
Right.
names of themselves. So whenever I look at somebody and I see a consulting company that is beyond successful, multi-million dollar, or I see somebody who started a business, or somebody who is scaling in a 500 Fortune company, my
Right.
question is, if they can do it, then why can't I? What's
Right.
the difference? Is it money?
Right.
Not necessarily, because some of us got it straight out of the mud, where some of us
Exactly.
had inheritance. I don't have any inheritance. I didn't have
Right.
no money after my mother passed away. So I push
Yeah.
myself daily and tell myself, if they can be a millionaire or billionaire, I definitely can be.
Of
They're
course.
different. There really is no difference.
Exactly. Exactly. The only difference is the time distance.
That's
You just
that's
don't.
it. And we got more time because we're younger.
And we exactly.
Right. So we have no.
Exactly.
So
So yes. So that's so amazing because it goes back to mindset,
yeah.
right? Because your mindset can literally take you where it goes. So if your mind was to go to depression after these people were down to you, who would have known how you would have been able to take on mommy life? But
Right.
you chose a higher road. You chose a road that is going to be able to help you and, break generational patterns. I don't like to say curses because who made the curse? It's a pattern.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? you
Cycle.
know,
Yeah.
right. And to,
Mhm.
to get on that journey of doing that, and that again is a brave aspect of what you do. So um since we tapped on mindset, I wanted to it's gonna kind of swirl into our next question
Oh.
because now let's talk about the day-to-day aspect, right? This is where the mommies need to listen. This is where y'all need to share it, okay?
Right.
Because this is where it gets real.
The real part.
This is where it
Transparent.
gets real.
Mhm.
So I want to talk about the days when you wake up and although we do our very best to try not to have those days, but
Right.
we're human, so they still appear. It's like if
They
we say we don't want rain, we just want sunshine,
right.
it'll dry out.
Stay up here.
So those days when it gets to the point where you wake up and you try to see that sunlight in these gray clouds and they won't it just won't show itself,
Right.
right? What is your thought process? What is your mindset through those days? What gets you going? Or what gets you to just say, you know what? I'm gonna just take the day for the day and I'm just gonna shut it down. Like how do you process through that?
It is for me, I almost say it's very simple, but it's not simple. If my kids don't have me, they have who do they have?
Ooh.
So me giving up is even if it was a thought, even if I pack my bags, I'm not going nowhere because I
Right.
have kids that depend on me. Who would I be? What kind of person would I be to
Yes.
have begged God to bless me with children? And now I have them and I abandon them.
Mm.
We ever got in those arguments with our parents like, how, oh, when you're 18, you gotta go. Well, how
Yes.
you go? bring me into this world and just
tell me
shut
I gotta
me
do
out
it.
to figure it
Right,
out
right, right.
myself. Like,
Right.
like, geez, you brought me
Right.
here.
Right, right,
um,
right.
so those days that when it's tough, man, the level of strength that I try to find, only God knows where I find that strength because it's so hard. It's hard. Motherhood is such a blessing. Let's clarify that because when mothers vent, it's almost like you're complaining. No, we're not complaining. We have
Right.
feelings, we have emotions. If you were to put someone else in a full-time mother's shoe, I don't know how a lot of people would do it if you didn't have kids already. That thing can be it could be a lot. But those days is simple. If I'm not here, then my kids they don't have a mom, and I'm not gonna be that selfish.
Right.
I can't be that selfish to
Yeah.
bring them in here and then feed them to the sharks to figure out life. I tell myself I gotta be there every moment that God gives me. I gotta be there. You don't know how to tie a shoe? Let me be there. You don't know how to shop? Let me be there. You don't know how to dress? Let me be there. I always tell God, before you take me, please let me groom my children. Please let me be there because there's nothing that hurts more than trying to figure out life and you can't go to the person that brought you in here besides God. You know, so it's not an option. I'll cry. I'll cry. I'll text sad faces to their dad because I feel like, it's our children and whatever I'm going through, I need you to understand. Because if I'm burnt out, the next person in line is you. You know, in his case, he'd be like, "No, you're the next person in line." But he'd be like, "You're the next person in line is you." So I would just tell him, "Hey, I'm just exhausted. I'm burnt out. I need some space. Not that I love my kids, not that I don't want to be with my kids, but that day-to-day life, Monday through Sunday, 365 days out the week, my kids are not 3 days with their dad and 3 days with me. It's 7 days a week. So I wake up, I sleep with you. I wake up, we're there every holiday. So it could be a lot, but they need me. They need me. I have to be there. That's my observation.
So for me, I would find myself I'm sorry I have to laugh because you gotta laugh about it, right?
Me too.
Like you would wake up and those days where it's like, oh my God, all I want to do is just lay back down. That's it. I just want to lay back down.
You lay back
and
down.
then you have these little people just tugging at you.
They
You know,
be there. They be there.
and you're like, I have to find the strength to get up and feed this person and give this person joy and happiness. You know what I'm saying? And I have to find it for myself. So I know for me, I like to force myself to get glamoury sometimes. Especially when it's those days when I'm really like, I try to just hop in the shower and just get pretty, because once you look that way, you kind of feel that way.
Yeah.
Right? So is that one of your tactics that you do? You know, what, like, do you say, let me go prep lunch or prep, this is going to get me, going? Like, what is it that gets you at that level of just like, okay, I could, this would be my refresh, my restart? Because some moms are like, what can I do to get myself, or what can I tell myself to get myself moving,
That is so tough. That is so tough. I mean, the only thing that could really help you from that is somebody coming to get the kids from you and doing the work. But all of us don't have that luxury. We don't have that luxury yet, or we just don't want that.
They don't have the luxury of giving them away. Like,
like I always say, if my mom was here, hello, where would you guys be with grandma?
Right.
But I mean, that thing is so tough.
Yeah.
I go to sleep at 3, sometimes 4. And I still technically have an infant, so she'll wake up.
Wait, pause. 3, sometimes 4 a.m.?
Yes, I do. Now here's the thing behind that. And this is why I'm such an advocate with moms, because you just don't know. There's so many different types of moms. And
Yeah.
here's the crazy thing. I like to dedicate my morning to my children
Right.
because I do work, but I never want them to feel neglected. Like I'm
Mhm.
always at the computer. I'm always on the phone because I have a 3-year-old, so he has someone to play with. And it's,
Yes.
mommy, can you come play with me? Mommy, can you come do this? And mommy, can you do this? And if I hold him off for more than 5 seconds, he gives me this sad face, and he just looks like, why don't you want to play with me? So what I do is I have my kids have a routine. They usually I try to put them in bed by 9:30.
Mm.
But for 9:30, the moment they go to bed, if you've ever been to my house, anybody, the moment they go to bed, I'm cleaning up the playroom, I'm fixing up the office, I'm cleaning up the kitchen, I'm touching up the bathroom,
Mm.
I'm taking out clothes for tomorrow, I'm trying to figure out what emails can I send tonight, what projects can I stick in. I'm literally working 2 full-time jobs. I'm full-time
Mm.
mom in the morning, and then when evening comes, I'm a full-time boss mom. And
Yeah.
sometimes it requires me to stay up till 3 because there's certain things I can do with my kids, and there are certain things I can't because I really
Yeah.
need to focus. So the moment they go to sleep, it's certain stuff that I have to get done because as though I am a mom first, I operate a business and I have to
Right.
be fair to my clients. And that's
Right.
the challenge of mompreneurship. Everybody know you have kids, but they already underestimate us as mothers.
Yes.
Because they're like,
Yes.
nah, I'm not gonna go to her. She got 2 kids. She's not gonna do my project. It's not gonna be here.
Right.
And I always tell everybody, please don't underestimate me.
Mm.
Date you
Because
wanted,
you got
the date we
kids.
contracted is the
Yes.
date you're gonna have. And this is why I always applaud a mom, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a boss mom, a mom that's in school, a mom that's
Right.
working a job, because they underestimate us so much. But if they only knew what we go through to be who we are.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's
Yes.
how that's how I juggle my life. Just recently I decided to try to, go to get to bed by 11 to 12 o'clock. So I've been trying to maneuver it because I do need my sleep. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the life I live currently, managing
Yeah.
a business and taking care of my kids at the same time.
Right.
You said
Okay.
3 or 4? I
Listen,
get up.
I was like, I'm losing my mind if 12 o'clock hit me.
12
I'm
o'clock
like,
for me. If it's 12 o'clock, I'm like, oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. Okay.
right.
That's good for me. But
No, but
yeah,
that's a next level of sacrifice though that you
yeah, it is.
make, because it's one thing to do it without kids. Yeah, we can stay up all night, but to do it, have the
With
kids
it,
all day, then say, so you basically get what, maybe like 4 or 5 hours of sleep,
6 the max.
6 the max. Wow. All right.
6 the max. Monday through.
Let's cheers to that.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Because that is different. Mm.
It's a
Most
sacrifice.
moms they're out by like shoot 10 o'clock. They're out, man, and that's stretch. That is
Yeah,
stretch.
it's a lot. But
Yeah.
I
So I now I know that everything comes with their pros and cons. So
right.
what would you say is the pro and what would you say is the con um, of being a mompreneur?
The pros of it is my kids are beautiful to me. Like
Yeah.
I get emotional talking about my kids. Like I
Yeah.
smile because like they just get me to a whole nother level of giddy.
Yeah. It's like these little humans are mine.
They're,
Like, oh
they're,
my
they
god.
they love you, and it's something. Remember, I struggled with infertility for 8 years.
Oh.
So my children to me, and not saying to take anything from anyone else. This is my personal journey. My
Yeah.
children to me are the world, like they're the world. So the pro to that is I have something I never thought I could have because the doctors told me I couldn't have kids. And for trying for 8 years, and you never got pregnant for 8 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I like doing it. That was long.
I never knew that you struggled with
Yeah,
that.
struggle with
Wow.
infertility. That's why I'm such a big advocate with motherhood. You know, there's so many
Yeah.
women out there that want kids, and it is a fight. So if you have kids, love on your children, cherish them, treat them like the king and queens they are,
Yeah.
because there are people out there that wish they could just have one and they can't even get that. And I was there for 8 years. So I know that
Right.
feeling. So motherhood for me is beyond a blessing, and I always watch my mouth to make sure that I don't sound ungrateful. I don't
Yeah.
sound like I'm complaining, uh,
Yeah.
because I know what it feels to not have them. So
Right.
that's a pro. Pro is just like I have these. These are
You
they're mine.
have them. Right.
Someone to
Right.
love, someone for me. After I lost my mom, I used to be like, "What am I living for?" I literally
Right.
asked that. What am I living for? I don't have my mom no more. I don't have
Right.
my dad. You know, my sisters and brothers. Everybody's grieving their own way. I had nobody, and that
Right.
is actually what led me up to be a two-time rape victim. Nobody knows. I share that story, but I'm also I was a two-time rape victim because I
Oh
was
my
looking for
gosh.
love in all the wrong places. So
Mm.
to have them is like something to love, something to look forward to. That's a
Yeah.
pro. And the con is I just can't get up and go like I want to no more. That's the
Yeah.
con. That's the con.
Right.
I
Right.
get ready. I gotta plan like at least 4 or 5 hours in advance. Like
Yeah.
if I want to wear makeup, if I want to be cute, we gotta plan in advance. Don't call me and say we going out at 8 and it's 7. I'm gonna tell you no.
Oh,
So
forget it.
talking about you should have told me this at 10 o'clock this morning
Right.
because
Right.
I
Right.
got upset. I gotta. That's the only thing. Like for me to get up and go, cool. I gotta be like,
Yes.
hey, you want your nephew? You
Yeah.
want your niece? That's
I mean,
it.
I always used to wonder, like, dang, she does this so well. And I know that, through social media, we could make things look like really perfect,
Right.
right? But even to see that you literally structure it for your day-to-day life and you have things scheduled in, a lot of the times you both look, thank you, cuz. That's my cousin said you both look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Um, um, yeah, so you structure in everything. You make sure you keep your house clean. I see that you cook. You having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just I'm like, damn, I didn't cook.
We have
She
to eat
is
the
superwoman right now. Okay, super
Yeah.
woman. Because
Oh my God.
if you could just get me to make dinner, that's a hell of a.
No. Really? Really?
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Really?
But the
Yeah.
a lot of moms aspire to do it like you do because it's times where I will be strolling and I see you post some stuff and I'm like, ooh, let me go buy Sage some little kitty plates with the little ears and stuff, or let me take Sage here
Oh
and
my
because you help
God.
motivate us,
Really?
and
Oh.
and that's yeah, I know you help motivate me. That's why I was like, I gotta get her on here because this is amazing.
That's
Okay.
amazing to hear. It's truly amazing to hear all of that.
Yes, you do. And like, do not stop because I need that. You know what I'm saying? Especially like on Sundays where I've been working all week. I do hair, I stand on my feet. So
Yeah.
it's like when I know that's me, Sundays is me and my daughter day,
Right.
and sometimes I'm just dead. And I would see you post some good stuff on Sunday and I'm like, well, let's go. Let's go do something. So
Oh
I
my
definitely,
God.
I definitely thank you for that because a lot of women don't have the mindset and the courage and the strength to be able to take it on the way that you do, man, and still be able to run a business and help other moms do it. So you're not only dealing with the crying from your kids and the whining and the schedules and your life and your personal self-care. And that's my last question before we get into the next segment.
Okay.
But you're also dealing with mothers that's crying and whining and, or, you know, going through their personal problems. I need you to help them with their business, you know,
Right.
because I know they'll vent to you sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, I get
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah.
I get I get Facebook calls. I get IG calls.
Right, right. So you deal with that, and it's an amazing thing to do. And I know that does that feed you though? Like, does it feed your soul to know that you can help them when they're in a lower space and
I
they're
mean,
trying to keep up?
yeah, I think that's amazing because when I started um, my business, my daycare business, I didn't have nobody to go to at all. Like
Mm,
no guidance, no mentor, no nothing. The only
yeah.
person I was able to turn to was my bishop at the time. So, you know, I always said, oh my God, when I started my daycare, I was like calling people and like, hey, I'm trying to open up a daycare. But a lot of people see that as competition. I don't view life as a
Mm.
competition. I don't. I just,
I'm
as
just
I got older, everybody's trying to take care of their family,
right,
establish wealth, establish health. So competition where? There's,
right. I was gonna say, what is it a competition of? Like,
well,
moms was thinking that.
no. When with the business itself. So basically, if I was gonna open a daycare, which I had opened up the daycare in Tamarack, when I was opening it up in Tamarack, just me, you know, reaching out saying, hey, you know, I'm the owner of In His Hands. I'm getting ready to open up. I would like to get a view. They wouldn't. No, absolutely not. Oh no, we can't do that. What? It was always a competition. So for me
Wow.
to learn how to become the businesswoman I am today, I had to do books. I had to do a lot of mistakes to learn from them. And
Mm,
man, I had to do so much mistakes to help me
yeah.
become the person I am today. So
So a lot
I,
of your structure came from that.
oh yeah.
That's
People playing with me on leases. When it came to me reading leases, I didn't know what to do. I signed some leases I wasn't supposed to sign.
oh
Uh,
my goodness.
People took advantage because I was a woman by myself at the time. So if something
Mm,
cost $20,000 for them to build out, they would try to tell me 40,000. You know, and it was just, the business industry is something not to be played with, especially as a woman. So the fact that I didn't give up gave me so much power to go forth that I told myself
yeah,
as time went by and I built so much knowledge on how to start a business, what you had to do, where you had to go, how to create it, how to manage it. It
right,
became within me. I'm a person that loves to give. I want to help you because you know what? The same way I want my kids to eat, I want your kids to eat. We don't want our
right,
kids out in the street struggling. I see it daily. It
exactly.
hurts me. So whatever
Mm,
information I can give you to help you establish wealth for your family, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to
wow.
give it to you however I know how to give it to you. Sometimes people tell me I'm too nice. Some people pull me aside and have conversations with me for 30 minutes, and they're like, well, did you tell them did you invoice them? I'm like, listen, wherever I bless, I'm planting a seed. That seed is
Yes,
being harvested for my children's children's children. So when I can help another mother,
yes,
I'm helping my children. And not
yes,
only helping them, I'm helping myself. So I give that information out freely because moms, we gotta eat. We gotta
exactly.
eat. We have so many, especially there's so many talented moms. That's the crazy thing about it.
Oh,
They're so talented.
so many of them, and they don't. A lot of them don't even get to explore not even 10% of that because
No.
they don't even have the courage or the mindset or maybe the support that they need to be able to you know explore that.
Yeah.
And it is hard because especially when bills and everything is hitting you and life is just hitting you, so it taps back into your faith
Yeah.
because through everything you have to have that faith and you have to keep it strong, to just keep going and just you gotta like trust and know that you know this tool that I'm going through
Right.
is going to pass
Right.
and we're going to get over this hurdle and it's going to be better,
Right.
you know. And it's easy to say, but for a lot of moms it's unfortunately not an easy thing to do.
No,
You
it takes
know.
a lot of mind, but like you said, your mindset.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
even to tap
100%.
into your mindset is tough
Mm-hmm.
because
Yes.
like I told one of my clients yesterday, it's me versus me. And when
Yes.
you know
Every
how
day.
powerful, imagine going up against yourself. You know how
Mm.
powerful you are. Me
Yes.
versus me is tough. We say that lightly, but that's tough. So
It's
I mean,
tough.
that's literally the life of a mompreneur is me versus me. I'm gonna let myself down, or I'm gonna get up and
Yes.
go. Yeah,
And you know what's so funny? We say it as if it's a one-on-one thing, but the
right.
way the mind is set up, right? It's like
It
you versus 10 of you.
ain't no one-on-one thing. You'll be delusional a little bit, but it's not one-on-one.
You will, yes, because it's like you have to balance all these voices in your mind
Yeah,
and channel the one that you know is leading you to the right path.
right. You gotta find the right path every single time.
Every single time. So before we get to the next segment, I just want to talk about self-care. What do you do for self-care, and what do you would recommend for mompreneurs to do for their self-care, or a way to handle their self-care or put it into their schedule? How would you?
Self-care, man, self-care is so important.
Yeah,
It's so important. Self-care gives you that push for the day that you don't want to get up. You
right.
don't get up. Your kids pushing, you don't want to get up. So, I mean, self-care can be anything that helps you um, just tap back into you before you had kids. Because
Yeah.
I don't know about anybody else. Before I had kids, let me tell you something. I was at the nail store every 2 weeks. I was eating out. I was getting my hair done. I was just learning to love me. So self care
Yeah.
is me learning to love me. Me being away from my kids for 4 hours, it can be separation anxiety. But
Yeah.
what anxiety do you want more? The anxiety where you're separated from your kids and you can't get to them,
Right.
or the anxiety where you're separated and you can get to them within 10 minutes. And what I mean by that is if you do not show up for yourself, how do you
Mm.
plan on showing up for your kids? So
Yeah.
when I had my daughter, I got preeclampsia. And after
Tell us what that is. What is it again?
so preeclampsia is when you have protein in your urine and it gives you high blood pressure. And
Mm.
now you put your child's life at stake and your life at stake. So
Mm.
I had preeclampsia. They had to induce me. I was in labor for 3 days with her. Oh my God.
Oh
And
wow.
the inducing did not work. And when it did work, it was that story is just her pregnancy
Yeah.
journey is a whole story.
Right. Right.
But basically, I had to do emergency C-section. So they had drugged me up with so many drugs, trying to induce me. Then they turn around and give you anesthesia. They turn around and give you all this other stuff to prepare you for the surgery. And I had extremely high blood pressure. So when I was supposed to go home, I couldn't go home because they said we
Mm.
can't let you go. Your blood pressure is too high. So I my son was with his godfather at the time with other family. They were shuffling him, and when I tell you the the way my heart broke, I knew I just had a baby, but the way my heart broke because I knew I couldn't get to him was
Right.
something I never want to experience a day in my life again.
Right.
And
Right.
I cried. They thought I was going through like psychotic moments, and it was just like,
Yeah.
no, it's her son.
This is your
And
son. Yeah.
he called me on FaceTime and he just looked unhappy. I was away from him for too long. Away from him
Yeah.
for way too long. And he started tears had built up, and mind you, he's only 3. And
Yeah.
at the time too, and I looked in his eyes, I gave his dad the phone and I went and cried in the corner. And
Oh
that
shit.
feeling broke me. So when I'm home and I'm not feeling well, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I always tell myself, do you want to just take 2 hours away, go to the beach, relax, eat, get yourself together, and come back home? Or do you want to be in the hospital where they won't let you come home and you can't show up for
Get
your
so.
kids? So
Mm.
self care is really not optional. It depends how you want to go about it, but you have to take care of yourself mentally because we
Yes.
can check out and we don't even know we check out. And that's what the
Yes.
people say mentally they black out. They leave their kids in a car. that their minds tell them this, that, and third about their kids. They leave their kids at fire stations because mentally they clock out and don't even know they clocked out. And I
Right.
never want to get to that point. So if it's me going to get my feet done, my hair done, if it's me running to Target, if it's me running to the mall, even if it's me just running errands and I don't have my kids, that is a self-care moment, because when I'm in the car, it's peace. When you have kids, it's
Yeah.
not quiet, okay? So, um, hair,
Right.
a facial, just
Yeah.
take time to embrace you.
Mm.
How can I say it?
Yes.
Applaud yourself, because
Yes.
what you do as a mother,
Not easy.
and I love my dads, but I
Right.
always speak from a mother point of view because I'm not a dad, I'm a mother.
Right.
So
Right.
if
Right.
there's any dad on here and you take care of yours, we appreciate you on every level.
Right. Right.
But from
Right.
a mom's point of view, what I do in a day, it's just wow. I wow myself.
Yeah.
By the time I get in bed, I be like, well, wow, Shantal, you did it again.
Did that.
You did it again. How did you do
Here's
it?
that. Here's
Here's
that.
today. I did it again.
Yes.
I thinking,
Yes. And you know
oh
what?
my
And
God.
that, and it brings so much joy.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
it's rough going through the moments. You know, and granted, as you do it more and more, it gets more easier.
Mm-hmm.
But to know that you had this list of things and you were able to at least do either half or more than half, or hell, a quarter
Right.
of it, you did the best you could do, and you know you did the best you could do. We have to thank ourselves, and we're not used to doing that.
No, we're not.
You know, yeah,
We don't
it's
credit
like the
ourselves.
yes, we have to, yes, and that's the thing, and we have to do that, and we have to give ourselves that self care, because I've had clients that have had their kids and they're so into the kid, the first, normally it's the first kid sometimes that you're
It
just
is.
so into it. Yeah, right, right.
It's
And
offensive.
yeah, and they
But
are so afraid to leave the kid because
right,
sometimes, life happens, when the baby was really young. So they become
right.
afraid to leave the kid. And I would hear them say, oh, I'm going to go on a vacation. They probably hadn't been on vacation in like years. And I hear them say they're going to go on vacation and they taking the kid.
Right.
And granted, you can take kids on vacations,
You
but
can.
if it's your first vacation without
You
the kid, and you don't have to take the kid, and you still do it, it's like now you have to give yourself that self care.
you have to
This
give
is your
grace.
recharge.
Grace. Yeah.
You have to do that. I said to when I had my daughter, I would take her certain places, but when I know I'm intentionally like visiting family and stuff is not a vacation.
No.
But if I know I'm going to Cancun, like she was going like on an island or somewhere, and bringing the kid, and the kid is a kid, so it's not even like they're gonna remember. It's like baby,
Right.
like 3 or 4 or whatever. So they're not gonna really remember. It's
No.
like you have to really understand it's gonna hurt, but you gotta detach to refuel.
Right.
You have to, and it's just super important because when you come back, you're gonna be like the most amazing mother for them.
Yeah. We
you
take
know,
around here without kids.
right.
We
exactly,
take it.
exactly.
We take
Mm.
it. And a lot of it could be just guilt. Guilt.
Yes,
'Cause when I
guilt.
had my son, I had a lot of guilt of giving anybody time, because I felt like I was taking it from him. And it took
Oh,
me to literally grow out of that. I would not go out.
yeah.
I would be like, why can't I be spending time with you? And I got a whole son at home. Just
Right.
no. But now
Yeah.
I would go on a whole trip for a week.
Yeah. And I always tell moms
Right.
too, because they gonna grow up and they
Right.
gonna leave our ass anyways. You know
They
what I'm saying?
still
And
so
then we gonna
fast,
be trying to play catch up and try to,
so fast. They would leave us so fast.
they gonna leave us so. Especially this, I hear the boys leave quicker because they gotta go have a home and stuff like
But
that.
they all come back to mama. They stay. They come back. The daughter, I don't know, but my son is,
Yeah, look, you like you
I
ain't going too far.
surprisingly, my daughter is that's mine right there.
Yeah,
My son is a
yeah.
daddy's boy. His daddy all the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He could tell he's like and you know it's so funny. I love to see when you post him because he's like he knows his schedule, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that. So let's hop into the next segment because we are on our hour mark. So we're gonna try to rush through this a little bit, okay?
Okay.
So this is the this or that. I'm sorry. This is a blast from the past segment where I basically do a deep dive into your social media, and you are going to basically tell us um, a deeper explanation of these photos.
Okay.
You ready? I
I'm
love
ready.
this segment. All right, all right, all right, all right.
Just tell you where I was mentally at that stage, or
Um, you could tell us what the picture is about, where you was
okay,
mentally. Yeah,
okay,
that works.
that works. Yeah. Oh, that's actually okay. That is actually my first branding picture as a mom.
Oh,
Yes, I was actually. I took this picture at my godmother's house. I don't know if she's watching, um,
okay.
but I wanted to. That's when I in, I thought in my head, I want to incorporate my children into my business. I want
Mm,
moms to see. I want not just moms. I want everyone to see. We we got our kids, and we're not gonna push them to the back burner. Our lives don't
yes,
stop. It
yes,
continues with them. And after I had him, that was the mindset I had. I'm not gonna, because people was like, "Oh, your life is gonna change. You're not gonna have time for it." I'm gonna have time for it, plus more, plus my child. So all my
yes.
branding pictures, you guys will notice, my kids are in every professional picture that I take.
I
Hmm.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love the yellow too. Yellow in my suite is was it's a color that I have like on the one side of my suite. And I love that you chose to use that color. For me, it brings happiness and joy and
It's
just
brightening.
life.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Bright
just
light.
brightens everything up. Yes. All right, all
Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. That's the beginning part of my entrepreneur. So I actually went to school. And this is basically what I was trying to tell you, where nobody would help me. I was trying to figure out
right.
how I can get my directors. And
Yeah.
they stirred me for 2 years until I did research. And I got my directors within 6 months with my CBA.
Wow.
And that's where that was my final state exam that I had to take to be certified by the educational board. And
Yeah.
I had to create a whole lesson plan. I had to be the teacher, the director, the whole day. And those were my kids that I was teaching. And after
Wow.
that day, that just took me off. I'm ready to take off in business. I
Yeah.
passed. By the way, I passed with a 102 on that. They gave me a 1.
On the thing, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm. A 102.
Dang. So and then that after that, were you able to? Did you start the journey of, or that was like
Yes, I
during everything?
no. After I finished that, I took off. Whew. I took. Listen, they even
Oh,
wanted to hire me. I took off. However
yeah.
I could. I went looking for buildings. I was Googling how to open up a daycare. I was Googling how, what did I need, how to do.
Yeah.
My family would tell you, with my daycare, that was my first baby. And
Yeah.
I just juggled that thing off, and I picked it up with no experience.
I'm not even surprised because you were always so patient and humble. You just you just always kept one mellow tone. I never ever seen you up here
Well,
like rowdy. You were really like you were just calm, just
right.
calm. You just
I
always had that about you, and that's an amazing trait to have. An
thank you.
amazing trait
Trying to
because that
pass
means you are great with your patience.
right. Oh, with
So
the kids I had, I gotta have patience.
yes, with them
Yeah,
kids, yes.
and I
So this is
love
the
them.
last one. This is a throwback that I found, but I'm gonna tell you why it stood out to me.
Oh, oh my God. So that's a picture of my best friend. That's a little emotional there because we have not been in contact for some time. But
Mm.
that is a lifetime best friend. That will always be a lifetime best friend, no matter if I speak to her or not.
Yeah.
That's more than a best friend. That's a forever sister.
Yeah.
We actually, she was in school for law,
Hmm.
and I was just finding myself as a businesswoman, and I would tell her, we're not the same. We're not the same. She was like, what do you mean we're not the same? I'm like, you have mom. You have a mom. You have a dad. You have a sibling. They're signing loans for you. I have nobody. And
Yeah.
I was like, our lives are different. I'm paying rent. You're paying tuition. Like, we're different right now.
Right, right.
Everywhere she took me when it came to business conference, we took each other. She was like, hey, I don't care what you think about your journey. I'm by your side.
Yeah.
That just lets me know that, that's real throwback.
Yeah, yeah. So I love this because it
Wow.
the background says I am empowered. The backdrop
That was
on
a
the red.
conference, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what stood out to me as well because empowerment is pretty much what you're doing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It's
know?
sometimes you'll look at it and don't think you're empowering people. And that's why I always push people to go forth, because it's
Yes.
never about what you think. You just,
Right.
even if you impact one life, you
Yes.
completed the task. And
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
to hear people say I empower them, it's like, wow, like, oh wow, I empowered somebody. I was never
Right,
thinking
right.
about
It's a
that.
beautiful thing, and
Yeah,
it naturally happens, and that's just from like the blessing of the Most High. Like he uses as these vessels to be able to just
right.
shine, even if it's one light bulb in somebody's life
Yeah,
that truly truly needs it.
yeah,
And that's one of the reasons why I do this because it even if one person gets something from this that can
yeah.
change their whole mindset to move through the next 2 weeks differently, like
Right.
that's all that I needed. And I'm just the happiest person.
Yeah, yeah,
So you stood in front of that and it goes to show that, you can manifest and not even know it.
yeah. Hmm.
Right? That's
And
the
not even
blessing of it.
where you're getting ready to go or what's about to
Yes.
happen. You,
Right.
your place in
Right.
life, and something happens in life for a reason. Everything happens,
Exactly. Exactly.
and that
Exactly.
alone showed me. I'm looking at that picture now, and it's like, like I was empowered, but somebody always empowers you. We're not
Yes.
self-made. I tell myself I'm not self-made.
We're not. We
And
need
I,
each
I
other.
don't I don't even know if she's on here. She's probably off of here, but I have my godmother. I think she's probably on here. She probably is. Vika
Yeah.
Press. I told her I'm not self-made. I didn't learn to be a mom by myself.
Right.
I literally watch her take care of her kids. I literally watch her be picky. No, you're not going
Right.
out. This shirt is dirty. Nope. Here's the
Right.
flip back. Here's your own towel. This is yours. This is her cabinet with all her snacks. I literally was
Right.
just telling her, you empowered me and didn't even know it, to help me become the mother I am today. So that
Right.
picture behind it is like I had somebody behind me that lets me know that, hey, we're different, but I'm here and I'm gonna push you.
Right.
Where you are, I'm gonna
Yes.
be. And that's why that picture ended up being so emotional, because at
Yeah.
the lowest point, she was one of the people that was there besides my
That
godmother.
was there.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there
Man,
she
I
goes.
hope that you
She's there.
hope. Oh, that's her.
Yep.
I hope that you can, maybe reach out to her and everything because,
Yeah.
man, it just goes to show that. And I was like, let me surprise her with this one and make it the last one because
That was a surprise.
you would never know exactly. You never know.
Wow.
How old were you there? If you don't mind me asking, how young were you there?
I had to be like 23. I think
23.
I was living on my own there. I was like 22
Yeah.
or
So what
20.
would you tell your 21-year-old self, your 23-year-old self?
Yeah, I'm 23. Oh, you about to apply some damage. Ah, you about to do some damage. 20, 21, 22. I went through a lot at that age. You won't believe what I went through at 21, 22.
Mm,
Trying to be it was a lot. I think I had my own place. I was losing my own place. I was very irresponsible. At 21, I was very irresponsible at 21.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would tell myself to be honest with you, I don't regret anything that has happened to me, but
Right.
I do look back and wish that I knew what I knew now.
Mm,
Because if I knew what I knew then, the pressure that could have been done, it would have been wow. But I'm
yeah.
definitely happy with where I am in life now because a lot
Love
of people
that.
get to somewhere in life and they never learn. They're never able
Yes.
to look back and be like, oh, wow, who was I back then? But I look now and I'm like, wow, I'm very proud of the woman I've become. I may not be
Yes.
where I want to be, but I am where I'm supposed to be.
Where you're
And
supposed to
I'm
be.
beyond happy with that. I'm proud of my
Yes.
accomplishments. And I
Yes.
mean, for 22, 23, I would tell Shantal, live your life, but get ready to settle down because you got some impacting to do.
Yes. Let's cheers to that.
Just to
Let's
that.
cheers to that. That's a good one. That is a good one. It's like we want to tell ourselves and give ourselves, like what we do with our kids. We want to give them the best advice, but we know that life is still going to
Yeah,
have to hit them.
they're still
And
gonna
they're
go.
still going to have to learn their own way.
Hmm.
So even when you think about it, yeah, you could go back and tell yourself some helpful motivational words, but we have to go through these process because this is what's going to mold and build that
Right.
character and turn us into who we are today.
Right.
So that makes a lot of sense. I love that. I love that. All right, so let's go into the next topic segment. This is our this or that segment. I like to call this the wine now segment because it's a little bit more relaxing.
Okay.
So basically, I gave you 10 quick topics, this or that, and you just choose one.
Ooh,
Okay?
okay. Those be the tricky ones.
I know. All right, so let's go this or that, night or day.
Day.
Day. Okay. It's day because you get more stuff done, or it's
Day.
just
I just like light. I'm a light person. I open all
yes.
the blinds in my house.
And I love your color schemes too. It's like
Oh,
perfect.
I
Neutrals, I love it. Like earth tone, I
love
love
neutral.
it.
I like
Yes,
I like I like light. I like a lot of bright, like very neutral, gray,
yes,
cream. I don't like dark. I don't like it.
yes, yes. I love it. Weekends or weekdays?
Ooh, weekend.
Weekends. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Let's do the weekend.
All right. Um, I put this there before I realized you didn't drink. So guys, Chantel doesn't drink. She's actually drinking apple juice.
Yes.
And now, did you never not drink, or you just stopped drinking?
Um. No. I drank when I was younger. So
Okay,
like
okay. So I can ask you then.
I I drank when I was younger, but yeah, I had a moment at work where my best friend had bought me some Moscato when I turned 21, and I didn't know how to use the Moscato. I didn't know what I was doing, so I poured it in a glass with some juice, fruit punch, and I was working overnight, and I thought I could drink 2 cups before I went to work, and I had the worst night ever. I was sleeping in the car. It was the worst experience ever. So I was the manager on duty, and my eyes started to get red, and I was like, "Listen, I can't. I gotta sleep." And because the coworker I had, we were hand in hand. I went in the car. I woke up at 6 a.m. It just both of us. Just like, get up, the next manager is coming. So after that day, I vowed I would never drink a day of my life again. But I did so much drinking that it was just like,
Whatever.
yeah. So
Gotcha.
after a while, I just got to the point where people would offer me drinks and I would just politely decline. And people
Yeah.
respected it to the point where I don't drink.
Yeah.
I drink
Okay.
apple.
Well, I mean, I can still ask you the question if you remember what you
Yeah.
did prefer. All
Yes.
right. All right. Wine or stiff drink?
Wine. Wine.
Okay.
I'll do.
Okay. You like if you did dabble back in it, it would be wine, or that was
Yeah,
just
it
what you
would be wine. I
preferred,
can't drink that. The
like
Hennessy.
tequila. Yeah.
I don't even
You
know how
can't
they
drink the
taste.
devil's
I
juice.
know if they strong. eh,
That's it.
I, Listen, I'm a light drinker, so I don't even play like that. I don't even take a sip because I know if I do, who knows? I'll probably be in Pluto tomorrow. So I don't want to experience that lifestyle. I want to wake up okay, so I don't do
I
it.
got you. I got you. All right. Plan or go with the flow.
Plan, plan. I got,
Nice. I felt I knew you was gonna say plan. I knew you was gonna say
got
plan. Is there any time that you go with the flow? Like that you
no.
know for sure, like, okay, for this I go with the flow.
If I'm that's that's more okay. I will go with the flow when it doesn't involve me having to be so structured. Like if I'm on a date night or something like that. Like
Yeah.
if we're like, hey, beach, ice cream, 2 o'clock. I don't gotta be home tonight.
Okay,
I,
okay. Then
yeah,
that's
I
mostly
will go
the
with the flow in those type of categories.
gotcha, gotcha. All right. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Okay. Are you not a coffee mom?
No, I
No?
feel like it gives
Dang.
me a boost.
Girl, how you do this life? This is why I am intrigued by you because you don't have you a drink at the end of the night and you don't get you no coffee in the morning. You just be on autopilot.
So
Just
obviously I must take the hard ways. I can't,
listen.
obviously it looks like I take the hard ways. So, no, I don't drink coffee. I mean, no.
All right. All right. Well, I'm good. That's a
Iced
good thing.
coffee. I'll take an iced coffee, but it's definitely not needed in the morning.
Okay, okay. Tanisha.
She laughing. Now she got me
I don't
thinking.
know how she do
I'm wondering, well, what's another way out?
it. Right.
I'm taking it straight to the head.
Listen. I'm just like you. I don't know how you superwoman for real, honey. Cause Lord,
Then I need to try some coffee, but we'll consider it.
yeah. Listen, if it ain't broken, don't fix it.
You're right. You're right.
All right. Read or listen to an audiobook.
Read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it because it's more therapeutic?
Yeah, I got it in my mind. Hearing somebody else's voice is going
It's gonna mess you up.
to mess me up.
Okay. Podcast or radio?
That's hard. I'm gonna be honest. I want to get into podcasts, but I haven't had the time. So if I'm up in the morning and we're in the car, I listen to the radio. Majority of the
Okay.
time, yeah.
You know that podcast life though. You gotta tap into that one.
I know. I
You gotta
know.
tap into
So if
that.
anybody knows some, just shoot me some inspirational
Oh
words.
yeah, I'm gonna try to send you some good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, love or money?
Love. People look
Love
at me
that.
crazy. Love. Love.
Yes, all the way for me. Party or brunch?
Brunch.
Right? I feel like the older I get, is
Party
brunch me. Brunch
animal.
me, please.
People won't believe that. I'm 31 and I've never been to a club. I've never
You
been
know
to
what?
a club.
That's all right.
No, I
That's all
stood at the
right.
front door and I looked in and I looked at my best friend and I said, "Do you want to go get a slushie?" And we turned around. No,
You know what? And it's no fun if you don't even drink anyway. So it's like you can go in there and see those people acting, just
I
tipsy
just
out
never
their mind.
had.
You just be sober.
I never had to push for it. When I was young,
Yeah,
I did like little lounges by the beach, but
yeah.
hard
Nothing
slush.
serious.
No.
Wow. I'm sorry, Shantal. I'm sorry. See, I lived a past life, but it's all right because
Man, I mean, I don't know. I just
that's all right though. That is okay because it
yeah.
ain't nothing there.
There,
It
there
ain't
isn't.
nothing. You ain't missing shit. Okay.
There isn't nothing there.
um, all
No.
right. So last one. Out with friends or home relaxing.
Ooh, that's hard. I like to be home relaxing. I'm for my bed.
Okay.
I love this. I love friends. I love to get out. Um, but just something about laying in the bed.
Yes.
with the AC piping.
Ooh.
And like I work a lot. I'm always on my feet. I don't understand what
Right.
it means to sit.
Right.
So I would love to go out once in a blue with my girls and
Yeah.
hang out. But I promise you, after brunch or going out, I'm like, okay, I need to go home before I got pills. You just don't
Yes.
have that peace
Yes.
of just laying there and not being tugged on. Mommy, I
Yes.
want cookies, or a baby wanting your breast, or
Yes.
calling you, and people, people think we're really super women. We're
Yeah.
super women.
Like we're octopus. We have 8
I mean, I
arms that we
call,
just.
hey, can you do this for me? I need it in 30 minutes. I'm like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
I got you. My kid's
Yes.
right here, but I got you. And they
Right.
expect me to do it with no excuse.
Yes.
So
Mm.
to be like laid down, I would put my phone on vibrate.
Me too.
If it ring, it
And I
ring.
would shut down.
If I don't hear it, I don't hear it. I trust where my kids are.
Yes. I love that. I love that. All right. So this is our last segment. It's called Explain That Quote. And I'll give you 3 different quotes. And you basically just tell me from your point of view what does a quote mean to you in your
Okay.
words. Okay. So the first quote is, now this is a quote I actually took off of your Facebook page where I got those pictures. You posted this quote years ago. And I'm gonna, if you don't remember, I'm gonna tell you who it's by after you tell me what it's about. Okay. It says, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it.
Self-love. That's
Mm.
self-love. People think you're successful by the amount of money you have in your bank account, the type of car you drive, the type of house you live in. And I always say this, listen, you'll be standing by a millionaire and not even know it. Okay?
Yes.
They're not driving foreign cars. Some are, some aren't. They're not driving foreign cars. They don't have the look, I don't even know the moschino, what they call
Yeah.
like that. Not that
Yeah.
I'm against it, because if it looks good, I'm gonna buy it if I want it.
Right.
Um, but there's no greater success than being happy with who you are.
You are.
Like,
Yes.
just where you are in life, I'm accomplished. I feel good about myself. And that's where a lot of moms lack, because we think, oh, are we all our moms? That's it. No, you're more than that. You're you're the operator of the home. And no, people don't know that. That's actually a job. If you do your research,
Yes.
you get paid for being a stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
These wealthy individuals know how to get paid.
Faith.
It's called the house manager. If you go
Mm.
ahead and Google that, women who's on here, moms, it's called and they're very wealthy. You manage your home. You're the manager of your home. That's actually a job title.
Is it paid by the husbands?
It can be. You could pay yourself through your own business.
Oh.
It can end up being tax write-offs and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
pretty
that's how a lot
cool.
of women, the men usually are the ones that go out, and they will be.
Tanisha said Googling.
Google it, because they are
Yes.
in the millions. It's a house manager. You manage the home. If your
Okay.
spouse or your partner, whoever it may be, has a business, you could definitely put that title on the business.
That is really good
So
to know.
we do.
Mompreneurs out there, you could be a house manager. Shit,
Well,
I gotta me write that down. House man, that's really
listen,
good.
that's on my to-do list. I'm trying to become that.
Wow. Okay. And that could just be another source of income. Shit, that's good. Because we needed all the write-offs.
Trust me, there's a lot of money out there.
Yes.
So
Wow.
that you have to be so happy, be comfortable where you are,
With this
not look
one.
at any
Yes.
success and be like, well, look what she's doing, look what she's doing.
Right.
And this year was the year that I stopped looking at what she was doing, how she was doing it, how she was dressing it. I looked at what makes Shantal happy, what makes me feel good with my posting. How do I
Right.
feel about my hair or how I dress? And
Yes.
that once that kicked in, this year became one of the best years of self-love. You see, I cut my hair, I did the
I
big
love it. It's so cute.
and
I
that
love
took
it.
a lot of
I've
strength.
been looking at it this whole time. Okay. I love it.
Thank you. And
Okay.
that's so when people tell me how I'm doing, it's definitely not my gross income. Definitely not. It's definitely
Right.
I'm happy with
Me
where I am in
too.
life and where I'm
Yes.
ready to go.
Yes. I love that. And that quote was by Maya Angelou.
Years ago.
Love her.
Nice
All
quote.
right. Here's the next quote. The choice to be excellent begins with aligning your thoughts and words with the intention to require more from yourself.
Mindset. When you said that, that's
Mm.
the definition I'm getting in my head. The mindset.
Mhm.
Once you set your mind to believe that this is what I'm gonna do, nobody's
Yeah.
gonna change it. Not even myself.
Yeah.
Your intentions are going to be pure, and you're gonna go ahead and fulfill whatever it is you're trying to do. So once you
Yes.
align your mindset, they always say mindset is everything. Mindset
100%.
literally is everything. If I had the
Yeah.
mindset to sit there and say, okay, well, I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna work, just not
Yeah.
out of life. But I told myself, no, for me to have gone through everything I went through, there has to be there's a purpose behind that, because I'm not going to go through the fire that I went through before I was even 20 for me not to come out as gold. Um,
Right.
so I had to really
100%.
set my mindset to believe that, at the time I did have entrepreneurs in my family. We didn't have that. So for me, that's different for me to have stepped out and to do that. And
Mhm.
you didn't even have that atmosphere set up around you. So once I stepped out and I'm like, I want to own my own business. I did my
Mhm.
research. I figured it out. I'm like, wow, okay, it's possible. My
Yes.
mindset then began, I want to be a business owner. And that's how my mindset has been for these past years.
Yes. I love that. Self-care and mindset. Yes. So that quote was by Oprah, which
Oh,
don't have she doesn't have any kids, but she gets it for the
she
most part.
gets it big time.
Yeah. Shit, being a black woman. Period.
Right.
All right, last quote. We must always attempt to lift as we climb.
We must always read it again for me one more time.
We must always attempt to lift as we climb.
Hmm. We must always attempt to live while we climb.
As we climb.
As we climb,
Mm-hmm.
that's a tough one. When did I do that one? What year?
Well, no, you didn't. You didn't post that one. This is one of mine.
Oh, okay. I'm like, man, that don't sound like me a little bit. See, I need
So
to put
now
mine.
when I read this quote, I had to read it like 5 times,
Yeah, because my
right? Because and then I had to do the physical part of what it's saying. I had to
right,
process that first, right? So I said,
right,
okay, if I'm climbing up a up a mountain and I have to lift, I'm climbing, but I have to lift as I climb. That means I
right,
have to bring a weight with me as I'm going up,
right.
right?
What it?
So when you flip it now and you go back into the the inspirational part of it,
Right.
it's more so saying
We gotta back
as
what you.
as entrepreneurs, as leaders, right? As we go higher, we have to bring another level of another I don't want to call it a burden with us, but we have to bring a level of weight with us,
Yeah, and there's a lot of
right? It's kind of difficult to climb without a weight
right.
because we always have someone that's either looking up to us, which could be our kids or
You
our
just hit,
parents,
yeah. You just hit what
right?
I finally got it all together while you were talking.
Yeah, yeah. And I said, dang, that's deep.
That's real deep because while you're climbing to the top, you're gonna carry a lot.
Yes.
But what we must not forget is the people that is behind us.
Hmm.
And we must lift while we climb. You're gonna have to carry some stuff. It's like too much is given, much is required. So
Yes.
you're gonna make it to the top, but baby, you're gonna have to carry some people with you.
You're gonna have to
And
carry some
sometimes,
weight.
a lot of people don't make it to the top because they decide to hop off themselves.
Yes.
But you're gonna carry, and that is to say, humble yourself.
Yes.
Humble yourself to how can I say it? So I was telling a friend, if I can just say this probably will break it down. I was telling a friend, I could do this journey without you, but I'm gonna choose not to. And the reason is this: when you make it to the top, you can make it to the top, but man, it can get lonely up there. It can get very lonely up there. Okay, and that's why I chose love over money. Because you have all the money in the world. I forgot his name, but he still committed suicide, and that's enough to let everybody know money is not the answer. It answers a lot of things, but it's definitely not the first. It's not the final answer. Definitely not. So I was like, while I go up, take my hand.
Yes.
Take my hand. And while I go through the mud, let me make your mud a little bit light. I'll take the first hit. But whoever I use for this, I'm going to take you to them. Whoever I go for this with my business, I'm going to take you with me. You just have to make the decision to follow me. And when with entrepreneurship, a lot of us end up being the first entrepreneur in our family. Once you make it to the top, you make that first million, families are right there. Believe it or not, they're there. Call Shantal. Call Shantal. Call Jessica. Because you carry that load of now being the one to take care of the family. So we all want it. You can get it, but too much is given, much is required.
Yes, required.
God don't give you all of it, but you better know what to do with all that He gives you.
Okay, and sometimes we will carry the dead weight.
Yeah.
And not realize it.
Dead weight. That thing is tough. Thank God for the work.
Yes. So definitely be able to help those that you could pave a way for. Like, knowing that you can do that is a blessing. That's how your blessings are really, really, given, because your creator can literally see, God can literally see that you're trying to help this person. But if this person, keep in mind as well, if the person is not trying to be helped, you're going to have to let that dead weight go.
Yes. And there's different cases where you have to let it go. But you're going to carry a lot.
But you're going to carry a lot. And that's just leadership in itself.
That's just leadership itself. So that's what it means. I'm going to go to the top, but I'm going to carry a lot, willing to go to the top.
Yes, exactly. So that was by Angela Davis.
Okay. That was a tough quote, but it
was a little deep.
It had some depth into it. It had a lot of depth.
Yes. So definitely, guys, in that quote, we basically came up with carry. You're going to have to, as you go higher, you're going to have to carry a certain level of weight with you. But just make sure it's not dead weight.
Right.
Period.
And I hear you on that.
Yes. All right. So this is our second to last segment. This is called the host hot seat.
Okay.
Where my guest gets to ask me one question of their choice, and I must answer.
I mean, that's not even a hot seat, but
it's a hot seat because I don't know what y'all about to come with.
Oh no. Let me see. Do you plan on having any more kids? Hopefully that wasn't too hot.
I do want more kids. I definitely do, but I do want to be married.
Yeah,
I want to have my life partner. I want to have my home. I want to be in a better predicament than what I was with my daughter. And I was pretty blessed. I was in a great home with my daughter and her father and everything. But I want to be married. I want to be someone's wife. I want to be a unit with my partner.
And that's okay to want. That is okay to want.
Yes. I just don't want to bring another kid in this world and no knock, because I'm a baby mother now, but I don't want to be a baby mother if I could really try, now if it happens, it just happens, but I would rather be married.
I would, and listen, I tell people, married or not, I am the mother of his kids. I am a mother I mean, I don't know how people use baby mama,
Yeah.
but it's definitely not something I would want to be addressed by, even if I was
Exactly.
married or what if I wasn't married. I don't know, because they make it seem like baby mama is I guess there's a lot of negativity that drags with that, and that's
Right.
not what I am. I'm not a baby mama.
Right.
I nurture these kids. I take care of these kids. Love
Exactly.
these kids. I am a mother,
A
and
mother.
I
Yes.
would like to be addressed by that, married or not.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
100%.
agree.
100%.
I agree.
Right. Man.
And I'm
And I'm thinking about two, but one more is fine.
like,
One more is fine.
you are one. You're on one. Listen, you're on one.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll go try for this for a boy. I might get a girl with my luck sometime, but we'll try for the boy. We'll see. We'll see.
I got
By
lucky.
the grace of God,
I
I
was
will definitely
blessed.
have another one.
I got a set.
Yes, I'm like, that is amazing. You get the blessings of each. Just
I did.
perfect.
First try.
Right? All right, so we have reached the end of our conversation, Shantal. Thank you so much for joining. Our last segment is basically our life gem segment, and basically you just give the people one quick life gem and also tell them where they can find you, and talk about, you can let them know what you do again, and if you want to talk about what's coming up, you can, but leave them with a life gem and just let them know where they can find Shantal the mompreneur.
Life gem. I have. I mean, I have so many, but go and conquer everything God has downloaded in your spirit for you to conquer.
Yes.
Everything that has been downloaded is not downloaded because you ain't had nothing to do, or it was downloaded with the wrong person. The gift was given to you because you are the one. The vision was given to you because you are the only one that can carry out that vision. That's
Yes.
period. Okay. I don't care what the business may be. I don't care if it's hair, makeup, nails, consultant, contractor work, whatever it is. God gave you that vision. And I'm gonna
Yes.
say this: you will not have a lot of people on the bandwagon when you start off. You know why? Because they don't see the vision.
They don't see the
But
vision.
I promise you, as it begins to grow and as you
Yes.
begin to build, and you go brick by brick by brick by brick, and they drive
Yes.
and they see, oh my God, what's going on over here? And not necessarily physically, but just spiritually. What's
Yes.
building over here? Oh my God, they opening the Wawa right here. Now all of a sudden
Yes.
everybody want to drive on Broward because there's a Wawa on the corner of Broward. It's not until they see the vision themselves physically, they're gonna jump on. Oh my God, I know her. Oh my God, let me go to her gym. Oh my God, let me let her do
Yes.
my hair. The vision is first.
Yes.
So in the beginning, baby, they're not gonna support you. And it's not that they don't like you. It's not that they don't want to support you, but people are just watching. They want to see what your final results are going to be. Okay, that's anybody. Let me just
Yes.
see how this Wawa finish being built out. I just want to see the final results.
Yes.
For it, push until you see it happen. Because once you cause that vision to become into reality, that's when everybody is gonna see what the vision was.
Yes.
That's my
I
life.
love that. Man, that was
That's my
a good one, man.
clap.
And I love I love that. Amen to that, because a lot of these times we keep looking for the validation of others,
Right.
and that's what messes us up. You just need yourself and God, and maybe one or two other person that can help assist you to get there.
That sees the
And
vision.
even if you gotta pay them a little something, really and truly, yourself and God is all you need.
Right.
And faith.
God will give you every
Faith.
tool you need. And I'll say this real quick. When I tell you he'll give you everything, just a small insight. When I started my daycare, negative $33 in my account. How, what, when, where? I was broke. I didn't have it. And let me tell you something. Somehow I had a check that came in the mail for like $120. I went ahead and I put it, and this was when I was like, I think 19 or 20. I put it in the account, I had a balance, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to Dollar Tree. I'm gonna buy coloring books. I'm gonna buy ABC. You know, Dollar Tree have that whole educational area, and I literally
Yes.
went and I started with $44. I think it was I had left, or $33, and I went and I spent every dime buying educational stuff, and I just started saying, I'm watching kids. I'm watching kids. I'm watching kids. From that,
Wow.
able to generate income to help people to
Right.
understand what it means to go out. And from there on, I went and I looked for a building. And I was like, how can I get my own daycare? Mind you, I went out with a building, looking for a building with no money,
Yeah.
no loan, no nothing. When I tell you these people gave me the building, let me tell you something. And people were like, nah, something must have happened. No. I went, I called, they told me this was it. See if it's available for daycare. I did. I spoke to my bishop, who was like my dad at the time, and I was like, this is what I want. Let me tell you something. They wanted first, last, and security. I didn't have a dime for that. But all
Yeah.
I know was that man told me, go in the lockbox. This is the code. This is the key. And I had that key with no money down. So when I tell you to go out and trust God, and when Shantal just said it, if you take that vision and go, all you need is God and yourself. And God would add
Yes.
people to the team who's supposed to be there. And that
Yes.
is what pushed me to believe and know that the vision was given to me. And if I
Yes.
continue to pursue the vision, God would provide me with every single thing I need. Okay? So
100%.
that's
Thank
just
you
not talking.
so
That's not.
much. Chantel, that was amazing, man. This is why I do this.
Yeah.
Cause I just be filled up. My cup is on overflow by the time I'm done, man.
Man, that's
And
beautiful.
this is, this is why I love to do this. And a lot of times I don't even like talking to my guests before as much because I want to leave everything to just
I,
to hit.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
it gets it better when it's just natural and it just
Yeah.
comes from the heart.
Hmm.
You
I
know, I salute you, man. You are doing an amazing job.
thank you,
Keep
and so are
going. We
you.
are watching you, and I am inspired. I know everyone that was on here is inspired,
Oh,
and people that are going to watch this are going to be inspired, and they're going to check you out and see what you're about, and you are going to inspire
right.
many, 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 many
Oh,
more moms.
I
You
appreciate
know,
it. And all the moms.
and I would. Yes, I would have. I'm gonna definitely bring you back on Wine Glass Conversation. Hopefully, when I expand
Of course, you will.
and I do my in person, in my huge, you know,
Yes. See
building and
the
you
vision.
know,
See see the vision.
I want to have a whole. I want to have a whole. I just have this vision of just bringing everyone back together and
Yeah.
having this huge seminar for for people that is in the field of entrepreneurship and
Right,
have people like you come in and talk to them and inspire. We could just
man.
inspire one another.
And I'm here.
So yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I am giving you your flowers now. And
Oh,
I will give you your
thank you.
flowers in person one of these days. I don't know when. When the money gets even higher and greater, and we can just throw
Oh,
great throw the flowers out.
I
But keep
accept
doing
it.
what you're
Thank
doing, Shantal. Keep doing what you're doing.
you.
I thank you so, so much. And let the people know where they can find you at.
Oh, we got so much at this point. I mean, if you can find me on social media, Instagram at Shantel underscore the underscore mompreneur. You can find me on TikTok where me and my kids be having fun on TikTok.
Yes.
Um, at the Boss Mom 2118, and you can also find me on Facebook at Chantal Pierre. If you want to know more about my business, you can go to www.bossmomenterprises.com. It has all my businesses on there under one page to make it so easy for all my clients. And you also can go on my bio and you will see that the other links are connected because there's YouTube, there's
Yes.
Linktree. Listen, there's so much that you're not
Yes.
gonna have to write it down. But once you connect with me on Instagram, you'll find the route for the other links.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chantal, and blessings to you and your journey.
Thank
And we
you for
will talk
having me.
again, my dear.
I enjoyed it. It was my first live. You took me out of my comfort zone, and I can say I absolutely love it. So I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on. And everybody who commented, I seen it, but I didn't know how to respond. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Shantal. Have an amazing night and
You
keep
too.
shining.
I'm trying. I'm gonna keep going. You too.
All right, love. Take care.
All right.